The Great Red Spot, the solar system's largest storm. Imagine a gigantic storm so big that it could fit 2 or 3 Earths inside it. Now picture this storm swirling for hundreds of years, never calming down or going away. Sounds pretty wild, right? Well, that's exactly what's happening on Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. This massive storm is called the Great Red Spot, and it's one of the most fascinating features in space. What is the Great Red Spot? The Great Red Spot is a huge storm on Jupiter, a planet that's much, much bigger than Earth. To give you an idea of how enormous Jupiter is, it could fit over 1/1300 Earths inside of it. The Great Red Spot is a storm in Jupiter's atmosphere that's about 10,000 miles wide. That's more than the width of our planet. Jupiter is a gas giant, which means it doesn't have a solid surface like Earth. Instead, its surface is made up of thick layers of gas, mostly hydrogen and helium. Because of this, Jupiter's atmosphere is very active, with lots of storms and wind patterns. But the most famous and longest-lasting storm of all is the Great Red Spot. How long has the Great Red Spot been there? One of the most amazing things about the Great Red Spot is how long it has been raging. Scientists first noticed this storm more than 350 years ago. That means people have been observing it since the 1600s. Imagine a storm that's been going on for centuries, way longer than anyone has been alive. Back then, astronomers didn't have powerful telescopes or spacecraft to take close-up pictures of Jupiter, but they could still see the Great Red Spot through smaller telescopes. Over the years, as technology improved, we've been able to get much clearer and more detailed images of this incredible storm. Why is it red? You might be wondering why it's called the Great Red Spot. Well, it's because the storm looks reddish-orange when seen from space. Scientists aren't exactly sure why it's red, but they think it has something to do with the chemicals in Jupiter's atmosphere. Jupiter's atmosphere contains gases like ammonia and methane, and it's possible that the sunlight interacts with these gases in a special way, causing the storm to appear red. Some scientists also believe that the red color might come from chemicals being brought up from deeper inside the planet's atmosphere by the swirling storm. Even though the exact cause of the color is still a mystery, the Great Red Spot has become one of the most recognizable features in our solar system, thanks to its bright reddish hue. How strong is the Great Red Spot? Now let's talk about how powerful this storm really is. On Earth, we experience storms like hurricanes and tornadoes, which can have incredibly strong winds. But the Great Red Spot puts Earth's storms to shame. The winds in the Great Red Spot blow at speeds of up to 400 miles per hour. To give you an idea of how fast that is, the strongest hurricanes on Earth have winds that reach about 150 miles per hour. That means the winds in the Great Red Spot are more than twice as fast as the strongest winds we experience on Earth. Because the storm has been going on for so long, we don't know when or if it will ever stop. It's been spinning for centuries, and scientists are still trying to understand exactly why it's so long-lasting. Some think that Jupiter's fast rotation, it takes only 10 hours for the planet to spin completely around, might help keep the storm going. How big is the Great Red Spot? We already mentioned that the Great Red Spot is bigger than Earth, but just how big is it? At its widest point, the storm is about 10,000 miles across. To put that into perspective, Earth is about 7,900 miles wide. That means the Great Red Spot could easily fit the entire Earth inside it, with room to spare. However, scientists have noticed that the Great Red Spot has been shrinking over the past few decades. When we first started observing it, the storm was about 25,000 miles wide. Today, it's much smaller, though still enormous by Earth standards. No one knows for sure why it's shrinking, but it's something scientists are keeping a close eye on. Even though it's shrinking, the Great Red Spot remains the largest storm in the solar system by a long shot. Why does the Great Red Spot last so long? One of the biggest mysteries about the Great Red Spot is why it's lasted for so many centuries. On Earth, storms usually last only a few days or weeks before they calm down. So why has the Great Red Spot been raging for so long? There are a few reasons that scientists think might explain the storm's incredible longevity. No solid surface. On Earth, Storms eventually run into land or mountains, which slow them down and cause them to weaken. But Jupiter doesn't have a solid surface, so there's nothing for the storm to run into. This allows the Great Red Spot to keep going without anything stopping it. Energy from the atmosphere. The Great Red Spot is located in Jupiter's atmosphere, where there are lots of different layers of gas swirling around. Scientists believe that the storm gets its energy from these layers of gas, which help it stay strong over time. Jupiter's fast rotation. Jupiter spins much faster than Earth, completing one full rotation in just 10 hours. This rapid spinning might help keep the storm moving and prevent it from weakening. While these are some of the best guesses we have, the exact reason the Great Red Spot has lasted so long is still a bit of a mystery. But that's part of what makes it so exciting to study. Can we see the Great Red Spot from Earth? Yes. Even though Jupiter is incredibly far away from us, the Great Red Spot is so big that it can be seen from Earth using a telescope. In fact, amateur astronomers, people who study space as a hobby, often look at the Great Red Spot through their telescopes. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun, and it's one of the brightest objects in the night sky. This makes it relatively easy to find with a telescope, and once you do, you can spot the Great Red Spot as a reddish oval on the planet's surface. If you don't have a telescope, don't worry, you can still see amazing pictures of the Great Red Spot taken by spacecraft like NASA's Juno mission, which has been orbiting Jupiter since 2016. Juno has sent back some of the most detailed images we've ever seen of the Great Red Spot, allowing scientists to study the storm up close. What will happen to the Great Red Spot in the future? As we mentioned earlier, the Great Red Spot has been shrinking in size over the past few decades. While it's still enormous, some scientists believe that it could eventually disappear altogether. But don't worry, this isn't likely to happen anytime soon. Even though the storm is getting smaller, it's still incredibly powerful and stable. Scientists don't know for sure why it's shrinking, but it could be a natural part of the storm's life cycle. Some even think that the storm might grow larger again in the future, depending on how Jupiter's atmosphere changes. For now, the Great Red Spot remains a powerful and awe-inspiring storm, and it continues to capture the imagination of people all over the world. Why is the Great Red Spot important? The Great Red Spot is important for a few reasons. First, it helps us learn more about Jupiter's atmosphere and weather patterns. By studying the storm, scientists can get a better understanding of how gas giants like Jupiter behave. Second, the Great Red Spot is a reminder of how different other planets can be from Earth. While we experience storms that last a few days or weeks, Jupiter has storms that can last for centuries. Studying these differences helps us appreciate the diversity of planets in our solar system. Finally, the Great Red Spot is just plain cool. It's one of the most famous features in space, and it shows us how powerful and mysterious our universe can be. Conclusion. The Great Red Spot is the solar system's largest and longest-lasting storm, and it has been raging on Jupiter for centuries. With winds more than twice as fast as Earth's most powerful hurricanes, it's a truly incredible feature of our solar system. Even though it's shrinking, the Great Red Spot continues to amaze scientists and space enthusiasts alike, and it's a reminder of just how extraordinary our universe can be.